Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the 25th of May. This is Meditation Reflections. And we had an earthquake this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And,
This was very early this morning. I was just getting up to feed the cats. It was a 5.6,
yep.
which is quite large. It occurred in the strait between the North and South Island, close to Foxton, which means down towards Wellington.
We heard a few things rattling, but no damage. And it was one of the longest quakes I've felt. I mean, the roughest part didn't last that long, but the subtle rumblings I can feel for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting. Not scary. We're not afraid of earthquakes. I've lived many years in California and Nevada, so they've been through a lot of earthquakes. So no hassles.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed is the cats bolted out of the house immediately.
Yep.
And I need to maybe keep a few glasses away from the edge of the shelves that they're sitting on. So I'm going to do a little redesigning today just in case.
Anyway, our meditation was very nice this morning. I think because of the earth energy shifting around, my meditation was a bit scattered and bouncing around. And I connected with family and sensed some love and healing, and connecting with the guides. And I'll go ahead and go first. One of the people I connect with is Baba Ji. He's or was a guru in India. He's in spirit now. He's an ascended master. And when I was in India, I connected very deeply with him, actually had a conversation with him, which was, I felt very awesome. And basically what he said to me was, welcome to my heart, and welcome to my cave. I actually got to go in his cave, not too far from the ashram that was built in his honor. And so that was a very nice experience, reconnecting with him this morning.
Mm. The other thing that was happening was interesting this morning. Both of our cats, Velvet and Shadow, were joining us for the meditation. They don't like the singing bowl or the tingshaws.
If we're too loud with
We're
them.
too loud, so we had to be a little quiet. And as I was, completing the prayer that we used to start the meditation, I asked Chai about the members of her tribe who were joining us this morning, the two cats, Chai being a panther being. And just then, Velvet started with her very, very loudest purr. She was sitting on the floor near the fireplace with one of her stronger purrs. Shadow wasn't purring, and Chai was explaining that Velvet was the stronger connected to nature and spirit because she'd been a wildcat for 4 months and had now both had the wildcat experience and the human experience, and therefore had a lot of insights and was a stronger spiritual connection. Shadow is recovering from a little trauma when she gave me some insights on how to help work on the trauma that Shadow's just kind of got to grow out of. So that was good. But then Shia stepped in and said some really interesting things to me. Sia and the other counselor, Ryan Koahab, were having lots of conversations this morning, none of which I was completely privy to. But Sia was talking about, notice when you're having a particular strong emotion. Check and make sure that that emotion is not habit.
Mm.
If it has some extra strength or energy to it, even more to inspect it and check the information that formed that habit of thinking, because you might have stopped evaluating or seeing reality or seeing information, new information being presented, particularly the discernment question is so critical right now. And she says, the habit of thinking in a certain way, I think this about this thing, means that you've dismissed it and you don't have to be aware of what's happening in reality anymore. It's a little like conspiracy theory. Oh, conspiracy theory. That's conspiracy theory. You put the X on it with the white paint.
Oh, I don't have to think about that now.
I don't have to think about that right now. It's dead on. And so conspiracy theory might be missing a lot of information coming in a couple of the areas of the hard sciences. It can be thousands of well-presented astronomical papers by well-known scholars from major universities and people who've been doing 30 or 40 years. You can't dismiss that as conspiracy theory. It is a large body of research that will shift in weight over time as more and more papers are presented about certain topics. That's not conspiracy theory, that's science doing what science needs to do.
Yeah.
So be careful of your habits of belief, because you might need to go back and check them to see if the information has changed, or you should have more thinking about it, or just to monitor and see how your own mind is working.
Many years ago, we met a man named Silver Wolf in Arizona, and he actually brought us to see a white buffalo.
Yes.
But anyway, one of the things he told us at that time was very profound, and I've never forgotten it. And he said, beliefs should be like a bridge. Once you cross them, let them go, because they don't serve you anymore. And hold it until your next new belief, and be ready to change them, because beliefs are actually baggage. But yeah, it was a very profound statement by Silver Wolf.
I'd forgotten that. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
And C.S. says that's extremely well said.
Hmm.
The going back in and reviewing, and we're not talking about the deep beliefs in God or things like that. We're talking about simple beliefs like
Even
prejudices or things like that, because they're temporary things anyway.
Yeah, or isolated, and sometimes we take an isolated thing and spread it out to broad spectrum, which it shouldn't be.
I can remember when I first came to New Zealand, I tried a feijoa and it was absolutely awful. And I went, oh my God, I won't eat these things again. How do people like them? And then a friend gave me a bag of ripe feijoas. And a ripe feijoa
But you ate the whole thing.
Boy, did I. And I've been doing it ever since. But feijoa, when it's ripe, is not full of alum, doesn't make you pucker. It's how it's supposed to be eaten. And with that missing piece of information, I had to revise how I thought about feijoas, and probably planted 20 of them, 27 of them in my orchard. I love eating feijoas now, but now I know when they're ripe.
Okay.
So it can be something simple. But I think, say Silver Wolf's quote again.
Well, yeah.
Beliefs are like bridges.
Beliefs are like bridges. Once you cross them, let them go. Yeah.
And also,
Something like that. I'm not quoting exactly.
but it's pretty good. And that is, it's a choice for an experience, and now you're choosing to have other experiences.
Yeah.
And it is always a choice.
Yeah. And another way of saying that is, and that reminds me of a Moody Blues song, Through the Eyes of a Child, You Learn How to See. That's looking at every experience as a new one, and look for the wonder of it, and let it pique your curiosity and want to know more. Don't look at something with old eyes, because it doesn't serve you.
Yeah. Children have a great deal of wonder and magic and a lot of wisdom, because they are open and they see very well.
The magic never really disappears, but our attitudes harden and we miss the magic.
True.
So anyway, we'll leave that with you for today, and hope to see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Blessings.
Blessings upon you.